Beautiful. Okay, so everyone, welcome to 2024. Something super exciting to show you in a minute and just remind you about it as well. But today we're going to be chatting about a very interesting topic whose heading is breaking the chains of imposter syndrome. Okay, I've got a couple of quotes to share with you as we go along today's presentation that really stood out to me over the last couple of weeks whilst, we've been winding down the year and starting it back up. And one is by Jim Rohn, who says, it is important to learn from your mistakes, but it is better to learn from other people's mistakes. And it is best to learn from other people's successes because it accelerates your own success. Now, I love that. And that is what being a part of Wellness Professionals Club is all about. It's about learning from each other's mistakes, and it's about sharing each other's successes because that's what helps us all to grow. Okay, and that's what accelerates our growth. And talking into that, our word for this year, I hope you all have read about it, and I hope you are all starting to embrace this word, and it's called elevate. And the reason why I chose the word elevate, if you haven't read our newsletter yet, came out 2 weeks ago, where I gave you 10 areas in your life where you can apply this word. It's not just elevating your revenue and elevating your knowledge and all of that, but we delve into elevating your network. I mean, how focused are you on doing that? We delve into elevating your mental and physical well-being. How focused are you on doing that? Because sometimes we're all just focused on elevating our revenues. That's primarily our focus, right? So I want you to read that newsletter if you haven't, because it does look into 10 ways in which I want you to focus on this word for this year. Okay, so enjoy the word, everyone. Then I've got a gift for you for those who stay to the end. It's a 50% bonus gift. Okay, so you're going to have to find out what it is later. I'm not going to tell you now. And then, why am I the perfect coach to lead you and to guide you and to help you navigate through your business? Is because not only are there hundreds of testimonials, like the one you can see in front of you, okay, is from Francisco, who I've been coaching and mentoring since 2008. But it's because of the fact that unlike other business coaches who teach you the theory of running a business, I'm focused on teaching you the reality of it. And why? Because I spend my days the same way you do, and that is in a spa business and running a spa. So in my case, what makes it so much more powerful is that I get to run different spas and salons and various types of them, from big hotel spas to little salons to aesthetic centers. So that's what the power and the beauty is of having a coach that leads and guides you by reality and not by theory. Okay. So this is how I, in one picture, want to describe to you what we are going to talk about today. And that is called imposter syndrome. So I'm going to ask you quite a lot of questions. So please get your keyboards ready or your phones ready to answer, because the session today is going to be quite interactive. So before I start and go any further, who has heard the term imposter syndrome? Because I'm going to be quite honest with you that up until 6 months ago, when I was introduced to it, I hadn't heard about it. 8 months, sorry. Oh, now I can't open my chat box. Come on. Okay, so go into your chat box and tell me who has heard about it. Okay, so Tracy says yes, and Gail says yes. Callan says yes. Okay. Yes. Has anybody not? Okay, so Lucia hasn't. Joe hasn't. Kalia says they talk about it quite often among surgeons. All right. Cara's heard, Umpo's heard. Okay. Cool. Alanda has heard. Jade says, yes, Jay Shetty podcasts all the way. Oh, interesting. Okay. So that's something nice for all of you to write down. There we go. We're about learning in this community. Jay Shetty podcasts. All write that down because that's brilliant. Okay. Thelma says, no, I haven't until you did. Okay. Who's on the Galaxy tab? Can you tell us your name? Who's logged in on Galaxy tab? Is it you, Lena? Because I seem to think you're always on the Galaxy tab. Alanda said, Jay is good. Okay. So you're also listening to those podcasts. Brilliant. All right. So I was first introduced to this concept or this word of imposter syndrome 8 months ago. And I was floored. First of all, I actually couldn't believe that this term existed, number one. Two is I couldn't wrap my head around it. But let me tell you what happened once I heard it, is I started looking for this in our industry. I did. I purposefully went out and thought, I wonder, because this concept was introduced to us as a group of women business owners. So it was a high-level group, okay, a high-level network of women who own businesses and ranging from small businesses to multi-billion-dollar businesses. So that's the scope. And it was introduced to us at that level. So I thought, hold on a second. I wonder if this exists at therapist level, at front desk level, at spa manager level, at salon manager level, or even in my case, in my office, in my business of distribution and manufacturing. Does this or could this possibly exist in our businesses? So I went on a bit of a mission and I did like one of these case studies, silent observer kind of case studies. It drew me a bit nuts. It drove me nuts because I was over analyzing every little bit of body language, every little bit of feedback that was given to me, tone of the feedback, behavioral patterns, all that kind of thing. So today's session, I don't want to leave you how I was left in my session. I'll tell you how I was left in my session. I was left feeling, oh my gosh, this is scary stuff. I can't believe this even exists out there. So I'm going to tackle it a little bit differently today. I'm going to not only tell you how to look for the symptoms, but I'm going to tell you how to fix them. And that's what's important about today's session. Is don't overanalyze. Okay, I've done the case study for you. So I'm going to give you information today based on 6 months worth of me going nuts about this imposter syndrome. Okay, and then I'm going to tell you how to correct it in your business, A, or B, if you don't have it, what to do to make sure that imposter syndrome doesn't creep into your team. Okay, because it can get you super, super fast. So let's start off with the basics. What is imposter syndrome? So for those of you who haven't heard about it, and even for those of you who have heard about it, I want to take us right back to a description. So it's made up of 3 different parts. One is an internalized belief or feeling. So it's something that a person feels internally, privately themselves, okay? Despite evidence of competence. And evidence of competence can come in many different forms. I'm going to take you through them later. That start to doubt their own abilities and fear that they're going to be exposed as a fraud or as an imposter. So somebody who shouldn't be in the position that they're in. It is not classified as a mental disorder. Okay, so it's not diagnosed like clinical depression. Okay, it is not. And then thirdly, very importantly, it can significantly impact an individual's mental well-being. It can hinder their professional and personal development. So it has to be dealt with, even though it doesn't have a medical classification. Okay, got it. So here is our definition, if you want to call it that, of imposter syndrome. Now, You don't have to answer this. And in fact, don't answer it in the chat box. But I do want you to have a pen and paper next to you, okay? Because this is pretty private. Unlike it was presented to me, I'm going straight in for the kill. I'm not going to mess around here. I'm going to do a quick self-check with you so that you can diagnose if you might have imposter syndrome, okay? Please don't feel bad if you do, because there is a solution. There is a fix. This is not something that you can't deal with, okay? So there's a couple of questions that I want you to ask yourself. The first one is, are you uncomfortable with recognition and have difficulty accepting praise? So when somebody praises you and somebody recognizes what you've done, instead of the thank you and yay and wow, enjoy the praise, you look for excuses as to why you've got that praise. Oh, I'm so lucky, I'm so blessed, or yeah, we just are fortunate to be in the right market at the right time, like that kind of thing. Okay. Number 2, do you constantly compare yourself to others? So are you constantly comparing yourself to another spa manager, another spa owner, or somebody else that you know of in your similar circle or line? Okay. Number 3, do you have a fear of failure? Okay, think about that. Number 4, do you attribute your success to luck or other external factors? Okay, do you attribute your success to luck or other external factors? Number 5, are you constantly finding yourself overworking to prove your worth? Okay. And even if this is to yourself, this doesn't need to be that you are constantly overworking to prove your worth to others. Do you feel that you need to work harder to prove your worth to yourself? Number 6, do you constantly doubt yourself? Doubt what you're doing. Doubt if you're doing the right thing. Number 7, do you have a strong desire to achieve perfection in tasks with a fear of making mistakes? So you want something that you do to be perfect, and you're so worried every time you do it that you're going to make a mistake. Now, remember, you're not answering this in the chat room. You're answering this on a piece of paper next to you. If you've answered yes to 4 or more questions, you may be suffering from, I don't even want to call it a suffering from, you may have a form of imposter syndrome. See how scary is this? That there might be some of you in the audience, and I'm sure there is, who have answered yes to 4 or more, okay? And this is what blew my mind with this, is that when we did our self-questionnaire, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even realize this is a thing in life, okay? Now, I want you to do a quick check-in on your teams. Again, this is not for the chat room. You can put it in the chat room if you want, but this is more for your teams, okay? And this is important that you note this, because this is the diagnostic element of imposter syndrome in your business. Okay, so please look out and let's look at these, and you can answer yes or no. So if anybody in your team has the following, so let's look at this. First of all, they downplay their achievements. So to give you a good example, this is a therapist who constantly gives credit to the products that she's working with, or the very busy spa she's in, or, oh, my client, oh, that's good skin. I mean, Flip, you've got great skin. So she keeps giving her success, her results in her treatments, to other things other than her skill. So instead of accepting, saying, yes, I'm a flipping brilliant therapist. Yep, those are the great skills that you can see. So constant giving credit of her skills to external factors. Second, fear of client feedback. So she's very reluctant. When you say you've got a mystery guest, it's like, or do your treatment today. I'm going to ask your client for feedback later on. She's worried. She's fearful of the client feedback, okay? She's worrying that that feedback is going to reveal her shortcomings. So instead of saying, I want the mystery guest because I want to see where I can improve, she's worried that her shortcomings, or that she's going to be seen as not as good in her skill as she knows she is, right? Overemphasis on continued training. Now, this is very interesting. Have you ever had a therapist work for you that is never happy with where she is? So now she wants to do lash training, and then she wants to do Hollywood wax training, and then she wants to do this, and then she wants to do permanent makeup. So there's never an end game with her. Okay, constantly seeking certification, constantly wanting to do more training. That is a very strong sign of imposter syndrome. Okay, because it shows self-doubt in the skill that you already have. Next one, avoidance of challenging treatment. So if there is a treatment that is tricky or new or a little bit like advanced, or she's not that sure about it, she won't take the challenge head on. So in other words, always worried that they're not going to meet the expectation. Oh no, I'd rather not do that because I'm not that 100% sure about it. Okay. Fear of clients' feedback. Okay. Oh, we've already done that one. Reluctance to share knowledge. Another important one. So if you've got somebody on your team that is hesitant to share their expertise, not open in helping others grow and evolve, that is a sign of imposter syndrome, because they are scared that others might uncover a gap in their skill or their knowledge. So look out for that, because think about it. Why should somebody want to hide their expertise? I mean, I would love it to be able to share my points and my knowledge with somebody else. So when they take that step back, look, please, everybody, I don't want you to become overly analysis paralysis. I don't want that out of today. But what I do want out of today is for you to take these tools that I've spent 6 months looking into. And if you see this in your team, this is why I'm doing this with you. These might be the reasons you're not getting the Google reviews that you want. These might be the reasons you're not getting the revenue that you want. That's why I'm sharing this with you today. Okay, there's more for a team check-in, by the way. Oh, Umpo, I'm so glad you're loving these points. Good. Okay, perfectionism. Do you have a therapist or a front desk team member that constantly needs everything to be perfect? So she or he is so OCD that it's beyond crippling, actually, and constantly pointing out, this wasn't rolled up properly, this towel, and this is full of dirt, and like really nitty-gritty stuff that could possibly pass, but they don't let it pass. Do you have a therapist or front desk or any team member constantly comparing herself to others, where you can see that slight envy, that slight inferiority, always referring back to, oh, what is Marisa doing? Or, oh, but Marisa got this, or, oh, but Marisa's got these kind of clients. Watch out for that. Over-apologizing. Keeps apologizing for perceived mistakes, even though others don't see the issue. So with little things, that over-apologetic therapist, problem. Seeking constant validation. The therapist or team member that is always looking for validation and reassurance, there's a problem. They set themselves unrealistic standards. So they constantly feel like they're not achieving. Even after they've met target, they've made their retail percentage, blah, 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 they constantly feel that they don't have that satisfaction. And avoiding leadership opportunities. So those therapists who don't want to step up as a head therapist, or they won't mentor a junior therapist because they say, no, I'm not qualified enough to mentor a junior therapist. Again, avoidance of mentoring or taking any leadership roles means or could be a sign of imposter syndrome. Okay, have you got those? Everybody got these? If you want to take photographs of the screen, now's your time. Remember that you do have access to the recording. Hey, if you've registered, you've got access to this recording anytime you need it. All right. Now I want the answer in the chat box, please. Because this is what blew my mind when I went out and did my case studies. Have you ever for 1 minute thought that you as the owner or the manager of the business or the leader of your business could be the cause of imposter syndrome in your team? So have you ever thought that if what you've just seen permeates in your team, that maybe you could be the cause of it? So I'm telling you what I'm going to tell you. And I mean, this is a safe and open community that we belong to. And the reason I've put this question in here is I had a meeting with a team of therapists that I lead. And after I was taught about imposter syndrome, and after I went through the process of starting to look for the symptoms of it, and her answer and her body language to me, it was like a 2-ton truck fell on my head, because immediately my brain went to, oh my gosh, Marisa, you are causing this therapist to have imposter syndrome. She's not got it herself. I am the reason that she has it. So I might not be doing what I'm doing to her as an individual, to the whole team, because remember, everybody is different. But the way it hit home and resonated to this one specific therapist was my fault. Okay, it was what I was doing that was causing her to have imposter syndrome, basically. Scary, right? Cara saying, yes, I suffer with perfection and I constantly expect it from my staff. How's that for being blunt and openly honest? Okay. And I'll tell you what I did wrong is I was setting unreasonable expectations from that particular team of therapists. Unreasonable. I was taking them from 0 to hero too quickly. So instead of going up slowly and in stages and getting them to meet targets, for example, so that they can feel that winner attitude before moving to the next level, I was, boom, this is what I want from you. And that, everybody, can cripple your team. I'm telling you because I lived it. It happened to me physically. And the second I found myself doing that, it was like shock syndrome for me, because I was like, oh my God, I'm doing this to this team. I had to take 10 steps back or 5 steps back and pull back from this. And I want to tell you guys something, that the second I changed course, the team dynamics and that particular therapist started achieving, and they started getting small wins, and it changed everything in the entire team. So remember, I said to you from the beginning, my whole goal is to coach and guide you as your coach through reality. And this is what makes being a part of Wellness Professionals Club so potent and so powerful to you, is that I'm able to come here and sit and share real life stories with you, so that, like that quote said to you, you can learn from the mistakes and you can learn from the successes. Okay, so what do we as owners or managers do? Now I'm giving you the tips of what you do that can cause imposter syndrome in your own business and under your own nose without you even realizing it. So everybody, I want you to look at these next 2 slides with a very open mind, because they are hard. They are hard in the sense of, I'm telling you as it is. If you are doing anything of what I'm going to show you in the following slides, you need to have a come to Marisa moment, or come to your own self moment, and change course. Okay. So let's quickly walk through them. One is lack of recognition. And I don't want you to have the attitude that that's not my personality type. If you want to own a business in today's landscape, you have to acknowledge and celebrate achievements. You don't have a choice. Unrealistic expectations or targets. So without providing the necessary support and resources. And let me give you a classic example. Is you set a 30% retail target, but you've got 5 retail products on the shelf. How do you want your team to achieve that target if you don't give them the tools and the resources to do that? So watch that, okay? You want your team to have meaningful conversations with their clients or powerful consultations, yet you don't teach them how to do it. You don't give them the physical consultation forms that they need to fill in to make a success of it. So just watch out with what you expect, great, but are you giving them the tools to do and to meet that expectation? One other little example, you give your team that is brand new. So let's say you've got a new group of therapists, the same targets as what a group of therapists is that has been in that business for much longer and the business is established. Unreasonable expectation. Okay. Next one, micromanagement. So this is over-controlling leadership style that can erode confidence. So you get involved in every little aspect of your poor therapist, front desk, whoever it is, life. Poor communication. Here's another one for all of you to think about. How transparent are you about your company's numbers? How transparent? What the goals are, what the expectations are, what the targets are, what the achievements are. How transparent are you with your team? Next one, favoritism. So unevenly distributing opportunities and rewards breeds a sense of unfairness. So be careful with this because it can happen without you even realizing what's going on. Failure to provide constructive feedback. Constructive feedback is absolute necessary ingredient for personal growth. The problem comes in is if you're focused only on the mistakes without offering the guidance and the coaching on how to correct those mistakes. Okay, so you cannot possibly always only give feedback when there's mistakes. You need to give feedback when there's good. And this talks into what is my famous feedback tool called, everybody? Who remembers my famous feedback tool? I use it in every part of my life. Who remembers that? We teach it to you in our program. Aha, the sandwich. Well done, Knox. Okay, the sandwich is your sure way to make sure that you are doing feedback constructively to your team because it forces you to give them positive and negative feedback in every single session, in every single feedback and interaction you have with them. Unsupportive work environment. So lack of trust, lack of teamwork, lack of positive environment. So a team that's always suspicious. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, what are you doing? Like untrusting environment. And then overemphasizing perfection. So if you are constantly harping on, this is not right, this towel is not folded correctly, constantly, in other words, that is what you are fixated on, you are going to breed imposter syndrome in your businesses. Okay, right. So now I come to giving you the tools. So we've now identified the symptoms and we've identified another thing, what you as the owner could be doing that breeds imposter syndrome. Now I want to go through the tools that you need to use to make sure that this doesn't creep into your business, number one. And if after everything I'm telling you, you feel that you might have this in your team, implement these so that you can get rid of imposter syndrome in your business. Okay, so the first one is provide regular feedback. So consistently, this isn't every now and again or maybe once a month. Make it a matter of consistently acknowledging and celebrating the achievements and contributions of your team members. Positive feedback boosts confidence and it helps individuals recognize their strengths. And that is what you want them focused on, their strengths. Number 2, encourage open communication. Create an atmosphere where team members feel comfortable to express their concerns. They feel comfortable to ask you for help and guidance, and they feel comfortable to discuss what they are battling with. Open communication, free communication, reduces isolation, so they stop hiding away, and fosters a sense of support. Okay, the next one. Set realistic expectations. Establish and get a buy-in to clear, achievable goals and expectations from your team. They must agree to those targets. They must agree to those goals. They must agree with your expectations. Okay? Avoid setting standards that are unattainable. Avoid that. Promote a realistic and positive environment. So if you know that 1 million is the right target, great. But work your way towards it. So say, right, let's start on 400 because you know they will achieve it easy peasy. Then we go to 500. And so you build until you know that your team and your business and your setup can get there, but don't start from the top. Okay. Number 4, promote a growth mindset. Encourage a mindset that views challenges as opportunities for growth. Not, oh my gosh, I can't do this, but rather, oh, I have a challenge. Yes, by overcoming this challenge, I'm going to grow as an individual. So emphasize the learning part. Emphasize that improvement is continuous and it's never going to stop. And that setbacks along the way are normal steps in a journey towards mastery. So if they want to become a master at something, they have to have setbacks. So that is what is called a growth mindset. Understanding that in order to grow, I need to have little wobblies along the way. Number 5, offer professional development opportunities. What does this mean? It means supporting team members in their professional development by making sure that you do provide training, you do provide workshops, you give them resources. And this is going to help them build their skills and confidence and reduce that feeling of inadequacy. Now, I just want to quickly touch on something. This does not mean that if you have a therapist that is training mad, because it means that she has imposter syndrome, that you must give in to their every little whim. So I want to do lashes. Yeah, sure, let's do lashes. No. If the lashes do not fit your business, how it is set up, no, we're not doing lashes. But what we are doing is communication skills this month. And what we are doing is this and this. So make sure that you have a regular, not overtrained business, but a regular, consistent skills upliftment program in your company. Okay. Number 6, foster a collaborative culture. I've put in capital letters, by the way, everything that I want you to remember and stand out. So a collaborative culture is a supportive team culture where the team shares knowledge, ideas, and experiences. It promotes a sense of belonging. So it's getting everybody involved. So when you're setting the promotions, ask them, do they like them? When you're looking at gift packs, ask their opinion on the color. What do you think about it? So get that culture of collaboration going. Okay, number 7, this is very important, and this is one of my weaknesses, is recognize efforts and not just results. Acknowledge and appreciate the effort and hard work that some team members may put in, not just the outcomes, because this reinforces that their contributions are valued regardless if they got immediate results. So what might seem an effort for your team member might seem completely insignificant to you. And this is where I've got a personal challenge that I think, oh my goodness me, that's like easy, something that should come easy to somebody. So watch out for that, okay? And always be on the lookout for how much effort was it for your team member to achieve or do what they did on that day, and then recognize it, okay? Number 8. Ooh, number 8 is a tough one for lots of owners and managers, is model vulnerability. If you constantly trying to show your staff that you are perfect and that you know everything, it's a problem. Be open about your challenges. Be open about making mistakes. Be open about your learning experiences. Share those stories, because if you model vulnerability, it reduces that stigma of I'm not perfect, and it fosters a culture of authenticity. And that's what you want in your team. You want authentic individuals. Okay. Next one, number 9. We're almost there. We've got 12 points. Number 9, provide mentorship opportunities. So find out where they want to grow, okay? Offer coaching programs within your team. So look for 2 team members together, or pair 2 team members together, or more than 2, by the way, with experienced mentors that can give guidance, support, and constructive feedback. This is important, and there's lots of us who are not doing this in our businesses. Okay. Number 10, encourage self-reflection. So promote self-reflection. And in fact, do this if I were you at the end of every day. Say, right, you're going to take 2 minutes at the end of today, and you are going to recognize your own achievements. So quickly point out what you did super well today, and point out what area you could have improved on today. And that fosters a culture of self-reflection. Okay, makes them look internally and allows them to grow. Next one is celebrate successes, and regularly celebrate individual and team successes. And here's what's important, both big successes and small successes. By doing this, you're going to reinforce a positive self-image, and you're going to boost morale in your team. Last one, important, encourage a healthy work-life balance. Okay, don't just accept, oh, they love working, they want to be up from morning till night, this is my workhorse. No, don't accept it. Reinforce how important self-care is. Reinforce how downtime is vital for recharging of those batteries. Okay, so quickly, everybody, whilst you're looking at these 12 points, which ones ring or resonate strongest with you? Go into the chat box and just chat to me a little bit. Or which one do you need to work on? I've already told you, okay? Mine are realistic expectations, which I really am learning from. And 2 is recognize efforts and not just results. Very important for me. And I've learned to do this. I never used to do it. Now I do it freely, is modeling of vulnerability. I never used to show vulnerability to my team or teams. Now I love to share my stories, and they love to hear them of when I messed up or when I did something wrong. So again, it talks into that quote I shared in the beginning, is share your mistakes so that others can learn from them, right? Okay, so Gail says vulnerability. Tracy, recognizing efforts, not just results, and vulnerability. Okay, good. 6, 7, and 10, foster collaborative culture, recognizing efforts, and 10, encouraging self-reflection. Very important, guys. When your teams do not reflect if you don't want to do it daily, do it weekly, okay? Because you might have too much on your plate for daily. But I want you to do this collaborate on your business groups. I want you to say, okay, guys, everybody, we're going to self-reflect now for 2 seconds, and you're all going to post A, what you did brilliant this week, and B, where you need to learn this week. Okay. Liz says recognizing efforts. Bridget says 3 and 8, realistic expectations and vulnerability. Cara says 6 and 10, collaborative culture and self-reflection. Brilliant. Alanda, 3, 7, and 11, realistic expectations, efforts, not just results, celebrate your successes. Love it. Michaela, regular positive feedback, encouraging open communication, recognizing efforts, not just results, and a healthy work-life balance. Brilliant. Knox, 6 and 10, for collaborative culture and encouraging self-reflection. Okay, I love this. Oh, there's Dr. Bonolo. Hello. So nice to see you on. Okay, offer professional development opportunities and collaborative culture. So can you see how everybody's taking from this something different, okay, in what you can do to either get rid of imposter syndrome or to make sure it doesn't creep into your teams? Brilliant. Okay, so now, last slide in this section, and then we're done, is I want to show you, and this is the only little negative slide I'm going to show you, but I want to tell you what will happen if you do not get rid of imposter syndrome in your teams. So if any of this is happening in your teams, I want you to go back and say, flip it, okay, I've got work to do. Decreased employee morale. So if your teams are constantly tired, they're constantly flat, they're demotivated, there's a problem. Decline in productivity and performance. High staff turnover. Strained team dynamics. So they're seeing each other as competitors rather than collaborators. You've got limited creativity and innovation in your business. So you're not an innovative, hip and happening business. There's stagnation of skills. Everybody's doing the same kind of massage and the same kind of facial like they did a year ago. Missed opportunity for business growth and evolution. So you don't see your business growing. Negative impact on mental health. So you might be seeing depression creeping in on more and more of your team. Sluggishness, a sluggish culture. A damaged employer brand. Wow, this was scary. So I don't know if any of you have ever interviewed people that have come from a specific brand or a specific employer. And when they mention that person's name or that salon name or spa name, you go, oh la la. Okay, that is a damaged employer brand, and you don't want that. Inhibit leadership development pipeline in your organization. It's very important that you make sure that you cultivate a leadership development program in your business so that you can promote and upskill from within instead of constantly having to hire that next leadership level. Okay, if you have a lack of that in your business, it means that you could have imposter syndrome creeping in your team. And then a cultural impact. What that means is that your team has a fear of failure over a mindset of learning from our mistakes. So if your team are scared, it's a problem. They're scared of you. If they're scared of their manager, it is a problem because that means that they've got a fear of failure over that. In this place, I can make mistakes and I can learn from them. Okay. How does that sound, everybody? How does that sound? Give me some feedback. How are you feeling after this session? Now I'd like to hear some words. Fantastic. Okay. Has it been valuable? Do you feel like this has been, how many minutes have we been together? 42 minutes of valuable time spent. How are you feeling? Tracy, enlightening, very much so, interesting, optimistic, very motivated, equipped with the new mindset, very valuable. Oh, I love this feedback. Love it, says Cara. Oh, this makes me so happy because I don't know if any of you know, but I sit here on the other side of a screen and I talk to myself. That's what I do. I've become a pro at it, actually. It's like I'm lecturing and mentoring myself. And I often feel very lonely. So believe it or not, everybody, your words fuel me and they give me the encouragement to keep doing what I'm doing all the time. Okay. Alrighty. So Cara says, love it. Bridget, great, valuable, eye-opening, encouraged, so valuable, amazing. Now you need to reflect and observe the team. Oh, yes. I've seen how much more I could be offering my staff. Nice. Michaela says, good, confident, spot on, enlightening. It's a pleasure. Okay, so what next? Remember, I promised you a couple of things at the beginning. So I'm just going to take you through a very quick little recap of what is coming your way. Number one is a beautiful quote. Steve Jobs says, learn continuously. There's always one more thing to learn. I'm not preaching to the converted because you are here today, not because you think you know everything, but because you feel you can learn. So I want to say to all of you, well done. Well done for putting aside this time, for being here today, to learn something new, or if you already knew it, to just get that reassurance and that one or two little tips to go back and implement into your business. So now I have a question for you. Would you like to take your business skills and knowledge to the next level so that you can double or triple your revenue this year? How does what you read in front of you make you feel? Do you want this for this year? Do you want to take your skills and knowledge? So do you want to learn more? Which in turn, by the way, learning more leads to doubling or tripling your revenue. How does this sound to all of you? Give me an answer. Who would like this for themselves? Lucia. You're so cool. Hell yes. Okay, I want to elevate. Knox says, me. Always believe in learning more. Of course. And that's, I'm expecting nothing less than all of you telling me that. Okay, so here are some New Year's resolutions that I have for you. Okay. And I want to tell you that you do these three things and the rest of what your goals are. And well done to those of you who on our group posted your 2024 goals. I'm still waiting for some of you, and I am going to hold you accountable because the whole idea is that we share, and you've all made a pledge to share on that group. So you need to be posting what your goals are. But I want to tell you that if you focus on three things this year, on 3 New Year's resolutions, and I'm still going to allow this to happen until the end of February, by the way, because it's February, March already is a quarter of the way in. So one is to elevate your personal well-being. And I've put that as number one, is to look after your personal well-being, be it mental, be it physical, be it spiritual, doesn't matter what it is. You've got to look after you first, okay? 2, I want you all to focus on this because I can tell you right now, none of us in this chat has elevated our personal network. We haven't. Our network is not big enough, guys. It is not. So I want you to say, if you've got 100 people in your network, you want 200 this year. That's how you want your network to grow. Because with network growth comes everything else. Everything else comes along with that. And 3, of course, I want you to join our club. I want you to become an active member of the Wellness Professionals Club because the value you get here, what you had today was a tiny little taster. It wasn't even a starter. It was like a welcome drink of what we have to offer you. Okay. Oh, Dr. Bonolo says her vision board is coming in 2 weeks. Okay. I'm going to say one thing to that. Better late than never. So I will take your vision board. I will. Even if you post it in 2 weeks' time, I'm going to take it because my belief is I'd rather you do it at some point than not do it at all. Who else, by the way, has not done their vision board or their goal board for this year? Come, guys, honesty, let's go for it. Who has not done it yet? Because I'm telling you why I'm asking you, because This is what we're here for as a club, as a community, is to hold each other accountable, to make sure that we all grow. We can only do that by saying, hey, so I know you guys sometimes think I'm painful when I keep on harping about the same things over and over again. That's my job. My job is to guide, mentor you, lead you, and coach you. Okay, so I'm going to nag until there's no more nagging left inside of me. Okay, so can you commit to when your vision board is going to be ready? Who's on that iPhone? Oh, I don't know who you are. Janelle, is that you? I think that might be Janelle. Is it you? Oh, yes, Janelle. Okay. Janelle, I want a commitment. How many weeks to your vision board? How many weeks? Nice, Suriata. Can you share those vision boards when you're done? Beautiful. Nice. Okay, let's move on. Here's your offer, guys. It's a once-off offer. We are in the process. We're almost done. I mean, I'm so excited. I cannot contain myself. My back-end team, and they are an amazing team, have been working tirelessly over the last 3 months, and we've hit a couple of glitches, but we are super nearly there. They've been working tirelessly with a new learning platform. It's called Kajabi. I mean, you won't understand it, but we are transferring the learning platform from LearnDash to Kajabi. And in there is all of our new content, new tasks, new updated workbooks. Everything is inside there. And it's so super exciting because we almost ready. We're probably about 4 weeks away from launching it. So we've got an offer for all of you, whether you want to become part of the club or you want to become part of the learning, is that we've got a 6-month free membership. So instead of paying, okay, at the moment, it is $1,000 per year. So that's 19,000 Rand for those of you who are working in Rand, or it is $1,000. We've got this available for you for $500 as an upfront payment for 12 months. Okay, so that is brilliant because it means you're paying for 6 months or for 5 months actually, because it's $100 a month and you're getting 6 months free. All right, so to get a special link, I am going to make it a little bit harder for you. I'm not just going to give you a QR code to scan today. I want you to email me. I want you to email me at Marisa, it's very simple, at wellnessprofessionalsclub.com to get a special link that I'm going to send you to get this $500 once off before we launch special offer. Okay. And by the way, you are able to invite an industry colleague to join in on this special offer, but it has to happen before we launch our official site. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to get on there. Okay, how does that sound, guys? So there's your 50% saving, by the way. It was $500 of a gift that I'm giving you. How does that sound, everyone? Then I want to direct you all to our new website. I don't know if you've seen it. So you all remember Spa Professionals Guild. Now we're on Wellness Professionals Club. If you read the newsletter, I explained why we changed the name and our rebrand, and I'm super excited. We are not only focused on the spa market, but it's spa, salon, and aesthetic center. So that's why we changed our name from Spa Professionals to Wellness Professionals. And then we've changed from the word guild to the word club, because that is the sense I want you to feel when you belong to us, is that you belong to a club, you belong to a community, and this is your growth and mentorship hub. Okay. Alrighty, and then very quickly, February marketing calendar. A few of you have still asked me for it, and you know, better late than never. So there is a QR code here for you if you do want it. A lot of you have asked me privately for it, so I just thought I'd put it on here today. If you're looking for the marketing calendar for February, that is with a couple of design templates. We've come up with all of your content, all of your wording for your marketing calendar from the 1st to the end of February. And we've also done a very exciting little leap year promo thing because it's leap year at the end of Feb this year. Okay, that's only $30. And by the way, we are introducing a recurring subscription to our marketing calendars, because a lot of you have said to me, oh, I forgot to buy it. Please send it to me. So we are going to be introducing that to you as well, so that you can, every single month, the marketing calendar link is going to come into your inbox and you're going to have a download. Okay. Alrighty, everybody. So I just want to ask you before we say bye, all of you to please put your cameras on. I want to see your beautiful faces so that I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. I want to see your beautiful faces, please, because I'd like to take a picture of all of us so that we can go and put this on social media to show everybody what they're missing out today. Okay. Hello, Danae. There she is. Stunning. Cool. Okay, everybody. Are you ready? Come on. Show your beautiful faces, everyone. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and you're going to smile. 1, 2, 3. Done. Gotcha. Okay, everybody. See you soon. Look out, by the way, for the newsletter. You do not want to miss the next coaching session. It's one of our famous old artists. I'll give you a little hint. His name is Brian Parsley. Do you all remember Brian? Some of you do. You don't want to miss Brian's talk, okay? So look out for the newsletter and the link on there, because Brian's up next, guys, and he has he's always brilliant. Okay, so I don't need to sell him to you. He's just unbelievable. He's going to shock you because he's so blunt, and sometimes there's a little swear word creeping in here and there, but that's why we love Brian, because he tells it to us how it is. In fact, at the last coaching session, he phoned a mystery guest. I nearly died. On the spot. It was a Cape Town spa. He didn't even tell us who he was phoning. It was a shocker. But that's why we love Brian, right? Okay, so look out for that. And email me, guys, if you want that special link to get your sign up. And I'll see you next time. And I hope that you took away very valuable nuggets from today. And if you have any imposter syndrome creeping up in your business, you've got all the tools now to go and get rid of it. Okay. All righty, everyone. Love you lots. Ciao. See ya. Oh, Lanil, it's so lovely to see your name there. Beautiful.